Can somebody post that questions in the group again so that
Hey
just so that we all.
guys, hello, hello, hello. I think we are gone live now. Hi, Fortune
Yes.
Changers team. How are you all doing?
All good, all
Hi.
good.
Hi, Chetna.
Hi.
Hi, Prema. Hi, Sukesh. Hi,
Hi.
Pankaj.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice, nice. So, what do we have on the platter today, this evening, Chetna?
Yeah, I think we are back again with a lot of energy. And I think, especially, I would want to welcome each one of you. As you already mentioned, Fortune Changers. So, we are a group of people who had formed, I think, last year to May 2019. And this journey had begun then. And this particular show is to speak about our journey in this last 7 8 months. Yeah, I think
So,
you're back again with a lot of energy. And I think especially I would want to welcome each one of you, as you already mentioned.
yeah,
Can
I
you hear
think
me?
there's some echo happening. So on the other Facebook page, if you guys have opened it, because we're streaming through StreamYard, so other Facebook page, if you have opened, you have to reduce the volume of that, otherwise the echo will happen. Please. Yeah.
Already muted.
Okay, I think now is it clear?
Oh yes.
Yeah, okay. So guys, those who are here already online and watching us, I have some four people already with me and one more is yet to join. So these are the five people who are expert in their own domain and they are progressing day on day, month on month in their domain and flourishing in this last few years very amazingly. So today's topic is majorly to discuss on how our journey was being done since last 7 to 8 months, that is since March of this year, because once this pandemic started, so how our journey was being there and how our business has affected and impacted individually and also our across the environment around us. So Vivek, first question to you. So what do you feel that people have really become rich or poor during this period?
Good question. Good question. Thanks for asking that. A very relevant one, Chetna. Right. So, see, I have some statistics to put in perspective. Okay. Um, did you know on August 8th, to be precise, okay, Mukesh Ambani became the fourth richest man in the world. Okay, his his wealth rose by $22 billion only in this year. Okay, the question really is why. It's because he slowly started shifting his focus to online space, e-commerce, right? And tech giants, very many of them actually started investing in him, right? Now, if I take the case of Mark Zuckerberg, his net worth, he became richer by $9.1 billion this year. Okay, and
Okay.
um, let's talk about Jeff Bezos. Okay, his net worth or his net income jumped to or skyrocketed by $25 billion since January this year. Right, most of them have made a lot of money during pandemic. Why? Because they are in the digital space, they are in the online space. At the
Okay.
same time, if you take a look at the not the billionaires, right, but the other population of the world, it has been actually a mix of everything, right? There are people who got who have been in job. Now suddenly they have woken up to the fact that they cannot be always rely only on the job, because close to 58% of the population throughout the world, everyone has started to look at doing a side hustle, right? And everyone is actually getting into the online space. So becoming rich or poor, that particular gap has actually expanded right now. Poor or the middle class have actually gone down, and the rich people have actually gone up. What it means, what it means is that, um, do we have to accept this gap, or do we have to start walking towards some path which will shorten the gap for you? If you want to be
Okay.
in the digital space now, like right now is the time, this second is the time.
Okay. So my next question, as you told, there is a way for a person to grow. So what are, I mean, how they can manage it, like when it comes to the finances and
Okay, sure. So basically, how do people manage money during this interesting
yeah,
phase,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Look, one more mind-boggling statistics. Okay, 64% of Americans have actually changed their spending habits during this pandemic. Did you know that? 64%. And we
Okay.
Indians were always anyway good at saving money. But the thing is, the saving that you're doing is enough. Saving now doesn't mean that you got to put your money in savings bank or FD or NPS or low yielding bonds or instruments, right? That is where the saving is. What I'm talking about is you got to really look at how you invest your money. If at all you have surplus income, see how you can invest that money across. They say don't put all the eggs in one basket. I would
Yeah,
call it as fruits. Don't put
yeah.
all the fruits in one basket, right? So you got to make sure the money starts working for you. You got to invest wisely. It's mutual fund, stock market, gold, real estate investment trust. REIT is the next big thing that's going to happen. Okay, that's where I would actually ask people to foray their money into, because you get a chunk of the commercial investment in a property as against a residential investment. Next, second thing I have a point is that cut out any additional spending that you have, anything additional. So for that, you need to first start, becoming aware where exactly every rupee, every dollar of your money is going, right? So for that, what I have done is I've made this free, financial fitness analyzer available for everyone. People can, we'll be putting this particular link in the comment box, can go to askvivekji.com and get a free copy of this analyzer and actually start believing where your money is actually going and start looking at it, where the additional spends are there, cut it down. Third thing that I have is reprioritize your must spends. Even if you think that the money has to be spent for that, ask yourself, hey, really do I need? Really do I need? If not, seek help. Ask people around. Have a financial coach. Take his or her suggestion, and then see if you can reprioritize that. Okay, and then of course, by doing that, you'll reposition your spends and as well as your income. Next, fourth one is increase your budget towards self-learning. Self-learning. So you learn now and earn sooner. But learning is important. So invest in yourself. Next one is, guys, make money online now, right? Again, 57% of people who are quitting jobs, everyone are looking for remote work opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay. And as I mentioned, half of Americans are already looking at side hustle, right? I think it's just a normal thing now, right? And then sixth one is income proof your life. You have to prove your life by saying that, hey, if I don't get one income from one source, what can I do, to get from multiple sources? Okay. And there has been a never time better than now, and there has been I don't think so, never a better group than Fortune Changers to help you how to get multiple streams of income for yourself and your family. Then seventh one is a funny one: eat at home, learn to cook. Try to spend your food outside food. Okay. And eighth one is when I say investing in real estate, buy out assets that pay you money rather than looking at investing in a residential house at this particular point of time. These are my tidbits for all of you who are watching. Okay, put in your comments what you think these 8 mantras about what you should be doing to manage your money during this interesting phase. I don't call it as a depressing phase. It's an interesting phase. It has given a lot of time for us to rethink our present and future.
Wow. Thank you, Vivek. Very beautifully put across. So many, given a lot of tips, and I think it was very simple things what you told, which can be doable. It's not that you have to go and search for something and then start doing it. These are the tips which they can start from today itself. So very beautifully put across, and thanks for that.
Thank
and
you.
People, those are watching, if you want to get more information, I think Vivek has already shared about it. You can reach him out. So my next question is to our network marketer, Mr. Satish Rao. Hi, Satish. Welcome once again. And Satish, how was your journey during this period? What are your thoughts? How it has influenced or impacted your business and personally, and also business-wise?
Great. Thanks, Chetna. So basically, like you all know that in network marketing, we were into a lot of face-to-face interactions with customers and potential customers. And we used to conduct seminars live in offices and in the hotel environment where we used to have face-to-face interaction, explain to people the potential of the business and all of that. What this times has done for us is that we were forced to pivot and go into the online space, do stuff which we were not comfortable with initially, adopt the technology like Zoom and so many other things that we have learned along the way. And most important, break all those thoughts in our mind that people will not come, people will not understand, they'll be challenged. It's very surprising to note that people across age groups, even the elderly, they've adopted this technology so beautifully, and they are so very all embracing to this technology and understanding things in the online space that it's really admirable actually for us, and it's very encouraging for all of us.
Yeah.
So that is one of the things. So we pivoted very smoothly into the, not smoothly, a little choppy, but then we pivoted into the online space.
Okay.
And also, the important thing to note is that what happens in the offline space, in the face-to-face interaction, is about the human element. And it's very important that you bring that element as well in the online space. It's not just being plastic or about trying to push your agenda or your product into the market. It's about understanding people, having empathy towards them, and seeing whether you can do something in their journeys, whichever journey they're, or whichever state of the lives or that they're in there, how we can help them to, it's all about that. So it's been, all in all, it's been very interesting, and we have learned a lot, we adopted a lot, and best of all is that we have taken a lot of actions in this time, and that has kept us going and kept us actually doing very well.
Okay, great. So Satish, what is that message you would like to share to these entrepreneurs or the business owners or the network marketers, to anyone, like how they can deal with the situations, or your simple message if you have to share to them?
Sure. So my message to entrepreneurs would be from my personal experience, especially at the phase where we had COVID strike and all this lockdown happened. At that point in time, I myself had adopted so many new things, had learned so many new things, and the excitement of having learned new stuff took me to a level where I wanted to implement everything, and believe that my abilities are so high that I can do so many things at one go. So what has dawned upon me has been the fact that you need to be also enjoying the journey. Second thing is you need to be focused. So two things I did. One is I delved deeper into myself and found out what is it that I'm really looking for, and what is it that gives me the happiness and satisfaction. What is it that I'm meant for? It basically stems to the fact that what have I done in the past, what has been my journey, and where am I today? Okay, so understanding that at a very deeper level. That's number one. Second thing is I said, less is more for me. I dropped out so many things that I've learned from some amazing gurus. I just dropped it off. I just shed it off. I said, just because I know it doesn't mean that I have to do it.
Yes.
And that brought down a lot of pressure on me. It brought down the pressure, it made me much more easygoing. And I feel that I'm able to deliver a lot of value to people because of the fact that I am relaxed and I don't have any particular agenda in mind. My only agenda is to see how I can make impact to people, how I can help them to grow. That's it. So with that transparent agenda, things are working out very well for me and my team.
Wow, nice. So I think this period has given us enough time for each one of us to deep dive within and to know ourselves, like what exactly we need. As you told, I think the unwanted things, that, okay, this is not going to work for me, let me leave it. It has helped many of them, because I have been speaking to many people, and the kind of responses what I get is they're trying to understand more of themselves. That's what anyway. So thanks for that, Satish. Thank you. That message was very clear. Yeah.
To this chance to just honor you and congratulate you, Chetna. The fact that you're doing your podcast in such a consistent manner and trying to get and showcase people from different walks of life, from different businesses, showcase their journeys and bring out the wisdom that is there among them. It's really commendable. And I feel that that intuitive character in the way you interview people is very good. It goes with the natural flow, and I think that the thought behind it, in terms of getting those wisdom out of those people, that clarity of thought and that pureness of intention comes out very clearly in your podcast. All the very best to you, Chetna. Very good.
Thank you, Satish. Thank you. Yeah, over to our next health expert, health coach, who has been. It's been a challenging phase for her for quite a long years, and she is a fighter. Actually, in fact, like if I have to tell, I have known her since last 2 years. So the way she has come across through her health challenges, it's really amazing. So I would, my next question to is Miss Prema Charles. So Prema, what do you feel that people's approach towards health has changed during this pandemic period, or how it is?
Yes, definitely, Chetana. Thank you for that wonderful short introduction. Definitely, yes, people's approach towards health has changed during this pandemic season. So otherwise, so it's been like, so prior to this pandemic, it's been like, we have outsourced our health to others, and always depending on someone like, doctor and health consultants, totally. Like it's like, we don't do self investment, but expecting miracles, to happen without taking any action regarding our health. So let's say, for example, twins. Okay, so I purposely said twins because instead of saying two different people, we know how identical twins are normally. So let's say twins are going to this doctor and says, "Hey doctor, so you gave, both of us have blood pressure, and both of us have same height, same weight. We live in the same house, same lifestyle, and you gave same medication. But then, this guy lost weight. I did not lose weight. This guy, this guy's blood pressure has improved, but my blood pressure has not improved." Okay, so that's like the same guy who goes back to the doctor and complains like this. He does not open his mouth and say he has made better, adapted to the better health habits. I haven't done it. He does physical activity, but I haven't done it. The same guy does not tell these points. So that's what I mean. That is what I mean when I say we have just outsourced it to others. It's your body, your health, but you're just depending so much on our doctors and the health consultants. So it's you who needs to be taking action at the end of the day. And yes, so some of the statistics which I came across was really interesting during this season. I just saw that a third of people are experimenting in their kitchen, just like Vivek was mentioning a few minutes before. And 1 in 4 are eating less with ration food. 1 in 3 were binge eating junk food because of the lockdown. And the last and the most important, 23% of people are eating more plant-based meals due to COVID.
Yeah.
You see how naturally people are getting, or also, people who are taking action also getting into that natural, healthy living. So we know health is more important than anything. And now that we have more people understanding health is real wealth, I can see people are looking for more and more holistic approach in health.
Okay, great. As you told about, I think as you were telling about the statistics, of course, the varied examples which come across, which I or myself also have come across, the people are mixed kind of stats, in fact. So the next question is, Prema, like how can a person, like as you gave a lot of other examples, how one person can focus on health, and can you share some tips on it, or can you show some light on it, so that it should be a very basic and a person can do it immediately from today?
True. So when you said basic, definitely that's what I wanted to say. The most basic and the most essentials to lead a healthy life are just 4 simple things, right? So we need oxygen, which is taken care by the nature, and we need nutrition, right? So the nutritional needs are very important for your body. And the third is water. and physical activity. So now we have so many physical activities like yoga and be it gym or aerobics, Zumba, be it anything. Everybody might resonate with the one particular physical activity which they might like it. So make sure you do that one activity, and make sure you break a sweat every day by doing one of the physical activities that you like, and the breathing techniques in yoga will automatically help you to increase that oxygen flow, circulation in your body. And nutritional needs, now that I said that people are looking for more and more holistic approach, get in, add, it's okay, whatever your food lifestyle is, try and be with home cooked food, and include as much as natural food like your fruits, vegetables, and nuts and seeds. And last but the last one, the most important thing is water. Right. So most of us are not well hydrated, and we don't know how much water to drink to be hydrated. So make sure, because our body is more than 70% of water. So which means how much ever good food you take, the nutrition from your food is carried by water into your cells or detoxifying your cells. All this is done by water. Okay. So at the end of the day, if you do not drink good quality and quantity of water, all that good nutrition that you take is going to be of no use. So when you take care of these 4 basic essential things, that's going to be help you a lot. And also you might be thinking, as I'm telling these points, you might be thinking, oh, so I have to buy so these natural foods and nuts and seeds, and I have to. So she's saying choose a physical activity. Which means I have to join a yoga class or a Zumba class or something. So that means, my expenses are going to add on, right? So there's extra, that additional burden to the your expenses. I'm sorry, but let me tell you this. It's actually not an expense. It is investment. Today, you are investing in your health so that tomorrow you lead a healthy lifestyle. Okay, so that's how you need to look at it, and that is a fact. These are actually investment in your health, right? We do so many other investments, but this is the main thing. This is the first thing you have to do it. If you're not been doing it, make sure you go do it from today. So another example is just like we did in our school days, right? We had different teachers for different subjects, and it was you who made sure to take notes. Sit and study, do your homework, prepare for your exam, write the exam, and pass the examination. Similarly, regarding health, it is your doctors and health consultants are your teachers in terms of how to lead a healthy life. But how much ever they teach you, it is you who needs to learn, the healthy way of living, implement it, and only then you can see results. So how much ever you learn, you don't take action by implementing in your day-to-day life, you're not going to see results. And I would say that this is from my personal experience. Ask yourself this one question, because when I asked myself this one question about 5-6 years back, and that's how my health journey, the transformation of my health journey started. Just ask, how did our ancestors live healthy and long? That's it. You might not get answer today, but keep questioning yourself. You will get an answer to this. And if you could eat and live the way your body is designed to eat and live, your health transformation is definitely possible. Especially aligning ourselves to the nature through natural living will undoubtedly give us better transformation in our health, right? Because if you don't have balance even in one aspect of your life, you will lose out balance in all aspects of your life. So there is something called balancing wheel of your life. So first thing, when you give priority to your health, automatically you have a healthy body, healthy mind, and which leads to be able to better focus on your work or business, which leads to better finance, which is automatically better finance is leading to better relationship with your family, friends, social life. And that leads to better social growth as a family, which means all aspects of your life is taken care just by giving priority to your health.
Thank God.
And
So nice, so nice. Prema.
And
I'm
if,
blown away by the concept,
thank you.
and I'm feeling as if you are talking to me now.
That's exactly, that's,
And
Because one thing I realized after I started making wealth, after I started making money and creating some wealth for me in the last couple of months, is that nothing is as bigger as
Yeah.
my health. And you beautifully told me the entire cycle. So health to then wealth, again to health, and that entire cycle is
true, Shankar. We
so
have
very well
always heard health is wealth, health is
put
wealth,
up.
health
Thank
is
you.
wealth. This is exactly what I'm telling you, how health is wealth. Because how much of a bank balance you have without health, it's of no use. You're not going to enjoy anyways. And so that's why I connected with that wheel of life. And lastly, so if so by doing all these things, if you don't believe and if you don't have that positive intention, so I would like to put it in this way, that is, if your faith is pure, then cure is for sure. Because nature has all the cure. And
Yeah.
not just that, you cannot be great if you don't feel great from within.
high
So
five.
make exceptional health, okay, not just normal health. Make exceptional health your number one priority.
Yes.
Amazing.
So
Yes.
that's
Hey,
my sharing for today.
Prema.
Thank you,
Just
Prema.
Prema, just one thing. Since you told about, we speak about health, but we have to take action. Okay.
Yes.
This is I think Monday we all had met, right, for Diwali get together, right? On Monday, Satish and me went, and he helped me to buy this.
Wonderful.
Help, dumbbells. So, okay, thank you. I just wanted to
Yeah,
clarify.
I think it was really simply amazing, Prema. Like you put across in a very simple steps. It was just like 4 aspects, as you told: your physical, nutrition, and nutritious food we have to take, and also water and breathing. It's simple, doable things, and the way you put across, it was very clear, precise, and to the point. Investment and taking action, it's the people those are watching has to take, it's the you have to take action. If you really care about yourself, if you really love yourself, then you have to start thinking about it. And of course, most of us fortune changers are always like the wheel of life, where I've always heard Rajat telling about it, but today everyone are speaking about it. Especially I was like happy that Shankar is speaking about health. Who is least bothered about it whenever we talk about it. But yeah, so thanks, Prema. It was a very clear and precise message to the audience, and hope you guys have really got some message out of it. And it's as she told, it's all of us are sharing our experiences, what we went through, and we are just sharing with you people. So it is like, if you resonate with any one of us in any kind of thing, you people can implement and do it. So it's not that, as she told, we all are just teachers. So you as a student, or you as anything, like you have to, if you really like to do something, whichever subject, whether it is finance or whether it's trading or whether it is authoring a book or networking or any part of it, if you resonate, you can start you can take some part, a portion of it, and do it. Okay, thank you once again, Prema. My next question is to the author of The Floating Happiness, Mr. Rajat Jain. So welcome, Rajat.
Thank you.
Rajat,
Thank you, Chetna.
I've been hearing from you always that writing is a therapy. Writing helps you for the personal discovery, and so can you throw some light on it, like how it helps? Why do you tell that writing is a therapy?
Thank you. Thank you for asking this question. You can hear me well, right?
Yes.
Chetna? Awesome. So this is something which has happened to me, Chetna, and that started sometime in when the COVID started. Somewhere in March, COVID started. Some of the regular activities, the routine which I had, all messed up. And I thought that maybe for a few months, maybe 1 month, it may go away. Then I'll come back to the routine. Did not happen. And it was continue going, as you know, and we don't know for how long it's going to further stay. But the routine was completely messed up. I started hating. I wasn't doing something which I wanted to do. And one day, knowing me being an author already of a book, Floating Happiness, I thought that let me just pour down my thoughts on a piece of paper. And I just started writing that what is actually happening to me. I mean, COVID cannot be the reason why I'm unhappy. There has to be something else. And when I just started writing, pouring out all my thoughts, they always say that how much do you really speak in a day? Maybe 2,000 lines. That's it. But you get 80,000 thoughts, in a day. The thoughts which you keep getting it in your mind, which make you tired as well. So when I started pouring my thoughts on a piece of paper, mentioning all the incidents that have happened maybe yesterday, or what are the reasons which I feel is making me not so feel good about me, everything started getting cleansed. And then I started sharing this with my students, people who I do coach in a writing book, and even they were writing the chapters of their book and they were very happy. So I think this is my personal experience, and after talking to multiple students, writing is a therapy. You just pour out whatever thoughts going on in your mind, 80,000 thoughts, pour it out on a piece of paper, and you will feel cleansed. You will feel less burden. I think something what I'll just take it from what Prema was saying, right? You need to feel good within, and that feel good within strategy is write it. Write it, and what is not making you feel good, and then you start feeling good. That is what I would say, Chetna. Why I keep propagating that writing is a therapy.
Oh, great. So, Rajat, as you were telling, like this last 7-8 months, as you using writing as a therapy, how you and your students have implemented this, and how did this work out for you?
So how it worked out for me is, I think, very simple strategy, and most of us fortune changers have been following it. And we've been hearing and seeing a lot of people also that, a lot of coaches, trainers outside as well, in our fraternity as well. Start waking up early. When you start waking up early, maybe 4:30 or 5 or 5:15, if you build a kind of a routine where you put a miracle morning in the sense of 15 minutes affirmations, 15 minutes gratitude writing, 15 minutes reading, 15 minutes exercising, stretching, 15 minutes meditation. And I think 15 minutes, maybe just drink a glass of water like you're drinking a wine. Just to again pick it from what Prema was mentioning, right? Once you do that, then the whole day is done.
Yeah.
Then you go further, and that can only happen when you start waking up early. And how to wake up early is to very simple strategy again, sleep early.
Yeah.
I think it's difficult because I used to sleep around 12 midnight, 1 a.m. Sometimes it happens today as well, but that's okay. I know that it could be 1 day, 2 day, but if you build a kind of a routine, a lifestyle management, that okay, I need to sleep at 9:30 or 10 o'clock, you will automatically upfront come out, waking up at 5 a.m. And that's the beauty of a nature. Sun rises at 5 a.m. Better you wake up. I mean, there are many villages which we have seen that they go to sleep or stop doing their work when the sun sets. So I think that is the most important aspect. Sleep early, wake up early, do a miracle morning activities, which I was mentioning it to you. And whatever you want to achieve in your life, you will, one passion project also, if you would like to take, maybe 15 minutes, maybe writing or maybe dancing, maybe singing. Then you can take the whole shit, whatever may happen on a whole day, because you're done with it.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I
great.
think.
Are you dancing
So-
because? Okay, one thing that I really liked about Rajat, what he was saying was drink wine like water in the early morning.
Drink
Isn't that what
water
he
like
said?
wine.
Well, that's an amazing tip, whatever it is. Drink
Yeah.
wine like water in the morning. So I thought Vivek is
Shankar
because of that,
wants to
but I don't know.
Shankar wants to hear what
Yeah.
he wants to hear.
So that was
But make sure to implement, when it comes to implementing, make sure you implement the actual what is said.
All right.
Yeah, I think there is a question which Viba is asking. I'll take it up later on for Rajat. So Rajat, once again, thank you for that. I think your major insight was on more on miracle morning practices, which you told. That's really amazing. I think most of us do practice many things. Like here, I think about 6 of us are there, and we do practice. We have certain routines which we follow. So it's really amazing, which is because we have seen the results by following that, how it is helping each one of us. So even if we don't follow what is happening to us, we have discussed about it also. Many a times when we have come together, we have discussed many times about it. So miracle morning, that morning daily practices is very, really very important. What I also agree with you, Rajat. So yeah, thanks once again. And my next question is for Mr. Shankar. So Shankar, there is Shankar is a person who brings in uniqueness in his sales, who brings in uniqueness in his talking, who brings in humor whenever he is around us. So there is a lot to tell about Shankar. So, but I don't have any questions to Shankar. Shankar, you have to just speak about you. That's it.
Definitely. So thanks a lot, Chetna, and good to see all of you. Good to see many of you joining this wonderful talk show, and very, very great to listen to all of you. I mean, starting from Vivji's finance, and if I have to just pick some of his points, one of the pointer that I'm taking, Vivji, is I'm going to be paying 10,000 rupees to my wife to learn cooking. So the money is within the house. And I also eat healthy food. So she also gets motivated to cook the food. So been learning a lot. Prema, definitely I'm definitely taking your advice in terms of working on my health, because health is the only wealth. Although my dad kept on telling me from the time immemorial, okay, from the time I was born, that health is the real wealth. But somehow in the rush of life, I forgot about that. But good to have Satish and Prema propagating, and Vivji Isfans also, who not only talks about financial fitness, but he talks about your fitness first. Because if you are fit first, then your finances can be fit. So, Chetna, quickly, my journey is when after the lockdown and much before that also, I've been trying my stint with stock market, and I started getting really, really amazing success, especially after the lockdown happened and all of that stuff. So, I figured out that there are some strategies, techniques, if you apply either for the long term or for the short term, depending upon if you want to build a house or you want to run a house. So, building a house is wealth creation, and running a house is your income generation. So I started masterminding with some of the best in the world, and started implementing that first in my personal stuff, and then when it started working like magic, started sharing that with friends and family and to people across. So they started getting very good results. I was surprised to know that as of now, as I'm talking to all of you, I've trained more than 2,100 people on my profit triangle. 2,100 people, yeah. So thanks to all of you for all the subconsciously giving me that support, giving me that energy, power, and I'm very, very lucky to be sharing my insights. See, all of us think that sharing the knowledge, but when you can really share the insights, like what all of you are now sharing, and it really touched me personally. I mean, more than for all of them, for the audience, it is for us. Okay, I want to really take Rajat's advice in terms of, because writing is the thinking part of whatever, okay, they call it as thinking part of doing. So when I write my gratitude journal or my ideas, they have higher chance of coming into existence. So that's a quick story, Chetna, of me going from corporate executive to now changing my identity to somebody who's really helping people invest in the right way.
That's really amazing, Shankar. Thanks. I think it's really good to see. I mean, as you are sharing about your last 6 to 7 months of journey, the kind of growth which you had, the kind of people you have trained, it's really simply superb. And the numbers, of course, it is like, I like the fact that we all of us are progressing. I'm not telling that, okay, we had kept on some financial goal, we have reached there. But I'm happy that every meeting we meet up or every time when we see each other, there is one step forward which we have moved. So that is the great thing. Like each one of us, those are listening to us also, you should just see that you're not standing there still. Whether you've moved one step forward, that's enough. Next, you see that whether you're going to the next step. See, that's what I like about this lovely group, where whenever we meet, we see that, okay, fine, we have moved there. If somebody is standing still, we'll ensure that the other person keeps that next step. So that's the kind of journey what we have been through. And that's what like this Fortune Talks thought came, because we wanted to share our experiences, our journey, which we are going through. See, I'm telling that all the 6 of us, what we went through might not be helpful for all of you. Some may resonate with Vivek, some may resonate with Satish, some may resonate with Shankar or Rajat or Prema, any one of us. So whichever you resonate, take that part of it. So we would be going live every now and then. So I just want also your inputs, like what kind of talks which you would love to listen from us. Because why I'm asking is, as I told you, this group which was created, that is Fortune Changers. I would like to share this story a bit, because last 2019 May, we had this meetup, ILH meetup, that is Internet Lifestyle Hub, which is our mentor Siddharth Rajshekhar, where there was has created, and monthly we used to meet up. So May month, there was a group of 10 people who came. And that's how we came up with an idea that we all will collaborate and do something which can be impactful and helpful for the people. And that's how this journey began, and Fortune Changers event started happening. So the major intent when we started was, when the thought came, we just kept the name Fortune Changers. But our intent was to help the people to work on their inner world and the outer world. So it's not only to work on their mindset or on their self, but also to work on their external things, whether it is business or marketing or sales. So with this intent we started. So now this Fortune Talks is a mini version of it, where we would want to share our learnings or our experiences, keeping these two aspects. That is, what are the things which you have to work on this inner world, or whether it is on self, or the other part of it is the outer world. So when it's business, sales, marketing, or whether you want to start a business, any part of it. So I would want all of you to put and share your views if you want to know anything from us, so that we will come up with such kind of talk, so that it can be helpful for you people. So anything else? I think now if anyone can go through the questions, yeah, Vivek.
So it's I mean, thanks to you, Chetna. Check. Am I echoing too much? Is it okay?
No,
yeah?
No.
Okay, good, right? Good. Yeah. So you have actually asked such beautiful questions, each and every one of us, right? I think now it's your turn. How was your journey, Chetna? Right? You've been doing such wonderful things about the podcast, right? During the pandemic, what are the things that changed in you? What is your journey, man?
Okay, thanks for asking, Vivek. So as I was telling, each one of us journey are different, and I was just, for me, the major takeaway during this, not about the podcast I'm telling, it's about my creative part of it got sprouted, because I just started to learn with the available resources how I can be creative. I think if I have to tell, the major learning for me was this: with the available resources, how I can work on it. And when it comes to the podcast, why did I choose podcast? This is because this is the one of the easiest way to reach to your audience, to add value to your customers, to build your own authority. And if any person who has to share their message, this is the best and beautiful medium, what I can tell. So it's not that you have to be in business. You have your own journey. If you feel that you want to share that journey with the people, then this is one of the best mediums. So podcast is one thing which I started because I started interviewing the people, those who are just started their entrepreneurial journey. Because for me, myself, I've been exploring a lot of things since last 10, 15 years, but not doing anything because I was totally confused on what to do. And this podcast, the intent is to help out those aspiring entrepreneurs who are still thinking, who are in that confusion state. So by learning these stories from the different people, the kind of challenges they go through, the kind of confusions they have, so this can be helpful for those people. So that with that intent, I started my podcast, Impact and Influence. Of course, it's a long way to go, but the journey has begun. As I told you, I always see on progress. I always focus on progress. So, and I enjoy the process.
Awesome.
So
Chetan, next question. For many of them, the thought of a podcast or I mean, I think YouTube channel is all fine, right? Podcast is something people are thinking, hey, I don't think so. It's for me. Do I have enough knowledge? Okay, or I think it's a complicated process. It requires a lot of efforts. It requires a lot of, perhaps I need to be in a room which doesn't echo. I need to be in a room where, I need to be, or rather, I don't know what are the tools available. So, what has been your journey, which during the pandemic you were able to figure out and just implement and take action?
I think you guys are the best people who know how I was when Fortune Changes started.
That's exactly why we asked you.
I was literally very hesitant to go and hold the mic and speak. I told I'll take care of the entire event flow. I'll take care of the entire thing. I don't want to go and speak on the stage. That was the kind of person who I was when I started this my journey. Because over a period of time, I think, as I told you, I'm meeting the people like you guys, who one or the other time you'll tell Cheta, you can do it. I remember an event was supposed to happen on August 11th. I'm sorry, no, the second event, the September 1. And 2 days before we were practicing, and I literally went blank and I told I'm not going to do it. And that time, I think Shankar and Prema came and told, Chetna, we are there with you. You'd say whatever comes to your mind. It's okay. And that small push and you guys clapping or helping me to, okay, you can do it. So a person like me can do, when I can take such kind of things, I think anyone can do it. As I'm telling you, Vivek, this was the thing, as you guys are aware, I'm telling this to the audience because where I come from and how I got into this podcast. So I was a person like this, but nevertheless, now this journey has begun. Now I think it's like all of us have the fear of people judging us. We feel that we are not good enough. We always have that, rather than I'm telling, and I would re-emphasize that I had the fear of people judging me. I always felt that I was not good enough. I felt that my English was not so good. I felt that my vocabulary was not good. Now, I'm not excellent, but I'm okay. Whatever language I have, whatever knowledge I have, whatever skills I have, it's enough. There are people for me who are there to listen to me. And there are people who are expert more, who know more than me and who are experts. It's okay, because there will be always people above you and there will be always people below you. I look out for the people, those who look at me for some kind of knowledge or some kind of sharing, which I would give. So it's very simple, Vivek, as I wanted to tell, don't never stop yourself because, I think because you're not enough. And anything because podcast is nothing a big thing. It's not necessary that you should have a radio voice. It's not necessary that your English should be good enough. Every now and then my kids always correct my prepositions. Now also, Mama, this is not good. This is not right. I told it's okay. Initially, I used to stop myself when they used to comment, but now I tell, okay, fine. Where I have to correct, fine, sure. If I correct, it's fine. If I don't correct, also it's fine.
That means you believe in not just theoretically saying that I'm a lifelong learner, but you're actually implementing the fact that you're a learner and you're learning and still taking action.
Yes.
Amazing. So Chetna, Bala here has a question. He would like to know more about the podcast, and Shankar, for you, he would like to know more from investments perspective. How can he reach out to you guys? Why don't you put it in the comment your contact credentials so that they can get in touch with you? Okay. And Rajat, we still have a question from Vibha. I'm going to just post it there on top.
Yeah.
I'll read it out for you. Writing on electronic device and writing on paper, in your experience, how different is it in its therapeutic impact?
See, again, it's very personal to people. But if you ask me as a person, doesn't matter. I think you either write it on a piece of paper or you write it on a computer device. Today we are anyway going paperless. I do write on Google Docs. I do write on paper as well at times. So I think it doesn't matter. Sometimes maybe our mind keeps cropping and saying that what is the right thing to do. Just start, kick in. And if you find that, oh, I'm not getting that sort of a good, great feeling by writing on a computer, shift it to paper. So I think it doesn't matter in my sense, in my understanding and knowledge, and whatever I have seen.
Okay.
Vibha.
Okay. For me personally, writing on paper, using a paper pen has an impact for me, because I feel that, as you told, it depends on individual to individual. For me, that is more impactful what I feel for myself.
Yeah, I think this is something which I tried to do with my son as well. Wanted to share my experience that every day in the evening, if he can write something of gratitude things, that what all is great happened to him, and then we created one very beautiful gratitude jar, and we put it a label, gratitude jar, and every day he's been putting that sort of a paper and added it into that gratitude jar, and after 3 months he is seeing and we are all reading it together. I think these are the practices which you can do, which will give a lot of great good feeling to your kids, to yourself as well. I mean, I think we're all kids. Me, you are big kids, so that's something which I do say. But yeah, again, it works if you want to write it on a piece of paper as well. But yeah, today millennials, me and Chetna are of a different generation, so millennials may not like it, and that's okay. Just go ahead, write it on the iPad or your Google App Docs, or please do that. So Evernotes or anything.
Okay. So if any questions, Vivek, any more questions are there? If there are no questions.
No, I don't think so. There are any more questions?
Okay.
Awesome. So good to catch up with all of you.
I think Viva asked me a question that how did you drop certain extra things that you're doing? So the straight answer to that, Viva, is that there are so many things that we know, and there are so many things that we learn from amazing people, because today is the day and age of social media, and we are living the best of times to learn from the best of gurus, the best of people who have accomplished something in their lives. And it's something which we should not miss. But sometimes what happens is that weight of that knowledge doesn't allow you to do certain things. It doesn't allow you to do certain things focused. It makes you want to do so many things because you're so good at so many things and you love to do so many things. Like, for example, for me, I would like to sing Bollywood songs. I am a health freak. I like to take care of my health, so I like to talk about that. I'm also a training junkie. I would like to go and get myself trained regularly, right? So there's so many aspects to you. Similarly, each one of us has got different dimension. But for the sake of creating impact, you need to be really focused on one thing. Do it for a certain amount of time, maybe not like few months. It could be like few years, and gain all the knowledge that is required for that part to be excelling in that profession or that choice of that segment that you're looking at. And when you do that, automatically you'll get better and better day by day. And when that happens, after X amount of time of years, then is the time for you to look at for diversifying or doing something else. But what happens today is that some of our gurus call it shiny object syndrome. Some of the other people call it like a bomb. Like it's like a diversion bomb. Like suddenly you're doing something and you're enjoying it and you're getting some traction, and suddenly there is someone who comes to you and says, this is the future, this is the thing, and then you suddenly say, yeah, I have got some bandwidth, let me do that also. And then you share 50% of time with this and 50% of time with that. In fact, today me and Rajat were having a very interesting discussion in the afternoon, is that in the pursuit of excelling and doing well in business and in our financials, we sometimes lose out on the aspect of enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah.
So when you're focused on one thing, it's easy for you to enjoy it and also give time to your family, to your social circle, and all of that. So there are times, some days of the week, we just 6 of us, and sometimes some of our other friends also. Rajesh is part of this group. So many other people, Priyank, Swastik, so many of us. We just call up each other and say, "Are we ready to just hang out today? Just not do anything," and we just do that. So you can do justice to all of this when you're doing few things, and when you drop off so many things that you want to do. But there is a time for everything. So my learning was that be focused on what I'm doing, just one thing, do that well, and add value to people's lives, and and enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. I hope I answered the question, Viva.
Yeah.
Super question and super answer by a super person, Satish. That was amazing. And yes, so let's have the final thoughts by all of you, and I'll go first. I have to head over for another meeting at 9. So my mentor, his name is Sam Kautan, he says this: proximity is power. Proximity is power. The people you hang out with, the thoughts you hang out, the stuff you hang out with, experiences you hang out with will determine who you are. And I would like to hang out with, including my clients, including my students. I want them also to be at a higher consciousness level, because I want to be surrounded by people who believe that they can do much better for not just for themselves, for the entire world. So I want to thank all of you, everybody who's watching this live, who's going to be watching this later, and all of you for giving me that awesome opportunity to present share my insights and wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Vivek, you would like to share final thoughts?
From my side, from my perspective, with pandemic, without pandemic, making wealth is Shankar's forte, right? He helps people getting wealthy through stock market and all that. But before you get there, you got to manage your cash flows today. What comes into your bank account today? What goes out from your bank account today? How to do that? Learn and implement immediately. Take quick actions, not take actions. Take quick actions, because it's your money, man. Right? Respect that, and be happy with what you've got, and that's it. Then the only way upward is, or the only way to see is going upward. Network, everything. Cheers. All the best. All.
Yeah. Rajat, do you want to share final thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely, Chetna. You can hear me well, right?
Yeah,
it's been great to hear every one of us, everyone's story as well. Recently I attended one of the nice show of Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within, where he was mentioning that there are 6 basic needs of a human being. One is routine. Number 2 is variety. Number 3 is significance. Number 4 is growth. Number 5 is love and connection. And number 6 is contribution. So, and each of us are into somewhere in 1 or 2 of the primary basic need right now. And as a fortune changer, if you would see, we are more into love, connection, and contribution state. So you can see all of us are been talking of health as a priority. All of us are talking of relationship as a priority, because something which we in past 2 years have achieved, and we've been progressing from our routine, which we wanted to do, to some variety. We tried so many things, as Satish mentioned, that I was into so many things and I removed and started just peeling out some of the things, to the significance that we wanted to see ourselves as influencers, and onto YouTube and everywhere, every channel, whatever you may say, to the growth aspect of earning a lot of money or some of that aspects, or and then the love connection, which we really feel that our fortune changes tribe when you get to hear from a person calling you and saying that, hey, I missed that fortune changes event, can you start doing some talks? I want to listen to you because you do inspire me. I can do some action. Maybe you can make an impact to me, if not to millions and millions of people. So I think the aspect which I'm trying to share here is that this fortune changer, all of us are in a somewhere of a state of, if I need to really plug it into a more like a love connection and a contribute state. And we would like to continue to do this, as Vivek was saying, was Chetna was saying, that we have just kicked in and we want to hear more from you. And I think Chetna, you will share the details around that, how the audiences can really come back to us.
Yeah.
Because somewhere or the other, each of us, we are not one individual, we are a group of individuals who are every day learning and growing. We will be able to help wherever we may. And if you could ask us that what are the topics which you would like us to take it to you, we will go and do that. I think last I would say that is one thing which I keep telling to my students and to everyone, the audience who've been listening, start 30 minutes of your time of one passion project of yours. It could be dancing, it could be singing, it could be reading, or it could be writing. Somewhere or the other, if you just place that 30 minutes in a day, and you can go back to your childhood age when the time used to pass by like that. What was that one activity? There is a mad rush. If you just spend 30 minutes in that one activity, that will do a lot. That will be the meditation. That will be the mindfulness. So that is one pointer which I have seen really work for me, for my students. I would like to give it to the audiences over here. Chetna.
Thank you, Rajat. Prema, your final thoughts. You can unmute. Yeah.
Be great, feel great by making that exceptional health your number one priority. And that will lead to balance in all aspects of your life.
Thank you.
That's from
Thank
me.
you. Thank you. Satish, what about you?
Yeah, so for me, I would say that these are the best times that we're living in today. Just discount the fact that we have COVID times. But apart from that, because of the internet age and the access to the information that everyone has, so I would say people should make use of the time, judiciously use the time to learn. And most of all, don't be the learning junkie like I was prior to this. Implement certain things in certain elements, just implement it, because only when you take action and you test waters, you'll know where you stand. So take actions, very, very important, because we always get into this analysis paralysis that is gurus call analysis paralysis, or trying to evaluate things and not taking any action. That is something which could be very detrimental, because it gives you a false sense of feeling that you know everything. But unless you've experienced it and done it, you don't know anything. But you think you know everything. And that could be very, very hazardous, because as you grow older, it could make you very cynical. It could make you very cynical about others and about everything. So I would say take action, take massive action, and enjoy yourself. Enjoy the process. Like Rajat keeps saying, enjoy the process, enjoy yourself. So I think before we wind up, we want to ask Chetna your passing thoughts also, please. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I believe myself that every individual has an untapped, unlimited, infinite potential. So whatever we are using, it's very, very minimal, what I can tell. So everyone has that potential, and that has to be tapped and explored. So don't think too much. Start doing whatever comes to you, comes in your way, and start enjoying that process. And above all, my belief is be consistent and be competent. These are the two things which is going to, I think you have to stand out. Each individual here, what we are speaking, are also unique. So you have to bring in your own flavor and be competent enough and be consistent, and nothing can stop you to reach anywhere, whatever you decide to achieve. So that's it, my final thought, Satish here. And I would like to thank all of you for being a part and sharing your experiences, and hope audiences who are listening, I think they would have got some insights from this show, and we will be coming back again. And if you want to hear anything specifically, do leave us a note below, messages, so we would come back again. So thank you all once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.